This is the plaintiff, Akila Brebnor. She says she was driving down the street one day, and she saw the defendant drop his wallet out of his car. On the next block, she caught up with him and informed him where he dropped his wallet. The guy opened his car door, striking her side view mirror, and he knocked the thing clean off her car. The defendant now refuses to repair her car. Her good deed's not going to cost her the $500 she's owed, so she's suing. This is the defendant, David. He says the plaintiff got all crazy because the mirror fell off her car, and he said he'd have it fixed if she sent him an invoice from a reputable repair shop. She told him it was going to cost $160. Then, next thing he knows, her father calls him ranting and raving, demanding $500 from him. He feels as though he's being conned. He didn't even touch the girl's mirror, and he wants to let the judge decide what's right. He's accused of sideswiping a girl.
All parties, please use your right. Please see to come to order, please. Litigants have been affirmed, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Akila Brebnor?
Correct.
You are suing David for $500, 152 of it to repair a damaged mirror, and $348 for missed work. What happened?
Okay, so we were driving down the street on the North Conduit. At that time, he's sitting in the passenger seat of the vehicle. He opens the door and his wallet falls out.
Is he parked or is he driving?
He's driving. His door opens, the passenger door.
While he's driving?
While he was sitting. He was at a red light.
Oh, he's at a red light.
Correct.
Okay.
The door opens, his wallet falls out to the floor. The light turns green. I'm not able to step out to get it, so I continue to drive. I match up to like the passenger back door, and I'm like waving them down. His son opens the window, and I said, your wallet. I drive up, I state to him, I said, your wallet fell back there. He steps out.
Who's he?
I'm sorry, the defendant steps out.
Is he the passenger or the driver?
He's the passenger.
Okay.
He steps out. Our car is about this leveling. And
that's how close you are? As
correct.
Close
it's
as your
very
hands
close.
are?
It's
How's
close.
he going to step out?
He's opening the door, and he's like sliding like this, sliding out the door. And the light turns green. I stated
they can't
to
be
him,
this close, because he couldn't even open the door. So think a second, like make the cars the size of real cars, not cars in your head. And so how much distance was there between you and the door?
It's really small because
small enough where he opens the door and what happens?
And it taps. So I state the light just turned.
It taps what?
It taps my car mirror on the driver's side. I state to him, don't open it. The light just turned green. Wait. So as my car rolls a little bit, he pushes it more, slides out from the car, and the mirror on my driver's mirror just goes, and it just falls off.
Okay. That'll show you. So what happens?
He starts running down the North Conduit. His son screams, "Pop," or "Dad" in their language, runs out the car with him. They're running down the North Conduit. I state to the driver, do you have insurance? Do you have registration, something? He states, no, it's not my car. It belongs to the defendant. I said, okay. So we pull over to the side. I'm waiting for him to come back. He comes back and he states, I'm going to exchange my information. I said, okay, well, do you have any insurance? No, I don't have insurance. I'm like, well, how come you don't have insurance? Well, because the car belongs to the Air Force. I work for the Air Force. I'm a chaplain in the Air Force, and the car doesn't belong to me.
Who does the car belong to?
My ex-girlfriend. And your Honor
Is she the Air Force?
No, I am.
Did you tell her? Well, then, why did you tell them the car belonged to the Air Force?
I never told her that, Your Honor. It has Air Force plates. She asked. Okay, so can I speak? Okay. First of all, I want to thank her for telling me about the wallet. First of all.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Okay. Because no. Wait. Because we're gonna get there in a minute. Okay. She tells you about the wallet. You open the door and you knock her mirror off.
Well,
right?
if anybody did it, it was me.
Okay. So you exchange information. Did you have insurance on the car?
Sure. Your Honor has it. I gave it to the.
Okay. Did you give it to her?
No.
Why not?
I didn't have it on me.
Okay. So now you are what to her?
I'm her father.
Okay. And you get involved when what happens?
When she called me and she told me that she had an accident, I drove to where she was, and I was expecting to see him there, but she told me he left. I called him when I got there. I said, why did you leave? He said he's going to a wedding. My response was that you had an accident. Did you exchange information? He said, no. I said, what happened to the insurance? I do not have insurance on the car. I said, so you're driving in New York State without insurance? He says, well, I don't want to give you the insurance because it's going to mess up my friend's driving license. He wants to take care of it on his own.
Okay.
This is what he said to me.
All right. And so then what happens? He decides he's going to take care of it himself, and he gives you some information to go to a place of his choosing.
Right.
And what happens when you get there?
So he's after we're having a conversation on the phone, he states that the person can put the mirror on for $40, and if that doesn't work out after going to the individual twice, because he says sometimes you have to go back twice to get the job done properly, he can silicone the mirror on himself because he's a contractor engineer. So he went from a chaplain to a contractor engineer now.
Okay.
So I said,
are you a chaplain or a contracting engineer?
I am both.
Okay.
I'm a licensed New York State engineer.
He said
Okay.
he's done it for 15 years and that he can silicone it himself, which I didn't want to happen because the mirror works with a
You
motor.
don't need to give me a reason why
Right.
you don't want the guy who hit your car, who was careless enough to hit your car and knock your mirror off, to put your mirror back on. You don't need to give me a reason why you don't want to.
So I go to the individual he suggested. I went with my
did go?
father. I did. I went with my father. The individual did not have the mirror for my car. He tried to put a 4-door mirror on my car. It's 2-door, so it wouldn't work out, and it was black. So we're like, well, if you get the mirror for us, will you paint it? No, I don't paint. I just put it on, and that's it. So he said, give me about an hour, and I'll see if I can find somebody that has a 2-door silver one or a black one, and if not, then there's nothing I can do. We waited an hour. We waited longer than an hour. He never called us back. I went to my regular mechanic, who he called within 5 minutes and was able to locate a mirror for my vehicle, and also stated he can get it painted and put on without a problem.
Okay. And he got it done for how much?
$152.
Okay. Do you have the bill?
I do.
All right. And then now, who contacts him to tell him, hey, we're going to do it our way and it's $152?
I spoke with him and I stated that, you know, I got the car fixed. I'm able to send you the bill. Can I have your information? He goes, well, first, before I give it to you, how much does it cost? So I didn't want to give him the approximate because I wanted to see what he was going to do. I said approximately $160. And he's like, okay, well, I told you where to go. That's too much money. And he starts yelling at me. And that's when I hand the phone to my father to have the conversation with him.
Okay. So let's put a pin in it and let me hear from you.
By the way, I have some recordings of this whole conversation with the father, with the thing, even with the $160.
Okay. Can I just ask you a question? How much money was in your wallet?
In my wallet, no money, actually. It was my ID cards and my credit card.
What's your time worth getting ID cards and credit cards again?
No.
I'm just kind of curious how it is that the young lady who is the reason why you didn't lose your wallet has to go through all these hoops. Why is that? Over $100-something bucks?
No, Your Honor. I told her, and I have a conversation of that. I have to try find the cue it up. Text me. I said, listen, I told you to go 40. They told you to come back. She didn't want to come back at time. I said, fine. Text me the bill, and I'll give it to you. No. Then her father calls me, which I have all the recordings of it. I sent to the show.
Text me the bill, and I'll give it to you.
I will pay you the $160. Then her father starts threatening and calling me and call, you have no insurance. Stuff I never said, and I have here on recorded.
Why didn't you just give them the insurance information? That's your obligation in an accident, is to trade insurance information.
Unless you're willing to settle. I said I'm willing to settle.
Yeah, except for that, you're willing to make people haggle and go through all kinds of hoops.
Okay.
Go to my place. Well, they don't have it, then, you know, I'll give you 100. At some point, you wanted it to be 100 and not 160, right?
I don't remember that.
Oh, well, why don't we listen to it? Go ahead, play the tape. Both of you have the same tape. You handed me the same tape. Let me hear your copy.
This one
I've got it. Everybody stop.
No, we did not get disconnected. I refuse to keep speaking to you. Oh, so but you're okay to charge $500 for something you paid $160, right? You want to take my daughter to a place that you want to go to. Guy does not have the parts. And I'm not going to sit around and have my child drive, okay, with a car that is not adequate. Okay? So I took it to a place that I know will get my car fixed, will get my car done properly, and to my likeness. I am willing to say, listen, I would have paid anywhere between 40 and 65 just to not have to wait 2 or 3 days to go to court. So I said, okay, you know what? I'll give you 100.
There we go. And there you have it. So you don't give your insurance information, and then you haggle. And if it doesn't haggle to your satisfaction, then the heck with them. You understand how bad you look right now?
Yes, sir.
Because This young lady had no other sin than to be kind to a fellow human being.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you seriously a chaplain for the Air Force?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm embarrassed for you and the Air Force
Sorry,
right
Your
now.
Honor.
Okay? All her only sin was to point out to you, sir, you dropped your wallet.
I'm
and you want to put her through days of driving while your guy gets apart because you can save $100 in the process? Are you out of your mind?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. If I damage your card, am I allowed to tell you where to take it to get it fixed?
No,
Why?
because I might not approve of where you wanted me to take it.
Fair enough, but what if it's a authorized dealership that's reputable?
What if they're saying that it's going to cost so much money and it's actually going to cost so much less, you know? So they get the money extra in their pocket. That's what I always worry about with the insurance.
What do you say?
How am I supposed to know what your relationship with that mechanic is? If you have a special interest or if there is a conflict of interest?
That's a fair point. Going inside the courtroom.
Now you are suing for your lost wages as well. Tell me about your lost wages. What evidence do you have of that?
I didn't bring any with me as far as
you
that,
don't
but
get
I do.
any for you then.
Okay.
All right.
That's
But you do get $152.64. Put your hand down. Plus your court costs, plus prejudgment statutory interest since the day you had to pay that bill until today.
okay.
Because he should have just paid that. Now you're young. And when you hear that, I'm sure you were listening to that argument anyway, you know, you may end up with a little bit of bitterness in your heart. Let it go. You still did the right thing. And I want you to keep doing the right thing. Right?
Right.
Because in the end, guess what happens? The person who did the right thing looks like an angel from heaven, and the chaplain looks awful. Verdict for the plaintiff.
I would like to apologize to you. I'm sorry.
Well, the plaintiff comes off like an angel from heaven. It just did not look good for the chaplain, did it?
I'm very embarrassed.
You're very embarrassed?
Yeah, that was very childish of me.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that they were so nice to me. Hey, to tell me about my wallet. And I feel very bad. I'm so sorry.
I mean, yeah.
It's not right.
What would it have cost you had you lost your wallet? Somebody gotten hold of your credit card.
Sure.
You could have been on a lot more.
I'm sorry to them that I behaved the way I did. It's very childish.
Thank
you.
Okay.
God
Thank
bless
you very
you.
much. Thank you. Now here comes the angel from heaven. That's a very nice compliment from the judge. I'm wondering if this happened again, would you do the same thing?
I mean,
Or would you think twice?
I probably would think twice about it, but just because of the way I was raised, I probably would still stop someone and give them back their wallet
Let them
as
know.
well.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All righty. Very interesting case, Harvey. What do you think?
Okay, you have an absolute right, Doug, to choose where to take your car to get it fixed as long as the price is reasonable.